Well, there we have it. The Survivor premiere happened, and John is out first. Boy, oh boy, was that an interesting premiere. There's some things I liked, there's some things that didn't like, and we're going to debut my top three, bottom three here on Island Analysis Week 1. Stay tuned. Before we get too far into the episode, I just want to say thank you to anybody who checked out my stream today. 34 subscribers away from my goal of 500. So if you're here for Survivor 47 content every week, check out the coverage here on Josh Does Movies. We'll do live watch-alongs every Wednesday night when possible, as well as every Wednesday night, Thursday morning, having an island analysis out, breaking down the episode and my thoughts on it. And overall, when I think of this episode, it has to be talking about Andy and John. Because Andy had full breakdown. He was just at the competition. He was basically all over the place. You know, before the competition, you were seeing basically all over the place. He was pulling Rachel in and kind of causing issues for, her and the trust. He was giving off, all the worst vibes in the world. He has the whole freak out during the competition. He basically, Jeff is saying, I'm going to go home, I'm going to go home, I'm going to go home. And Jeff is just like, shut up. Because he doesn't want this to be so obvious. And then he gets up and Jeff asks him, what are you feeling, Andy? And Andy's like, well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to have to throw John under the bus, blah, blah, blah. And I like John. John's a good friend for me. And, oh boy, Andy. Without spoiling the rest of the bottom three, Andy is definitely finding him space in my bottom three, one of the three slots. He has given people no reason to trust him. His vibes and his connections are kind of far off. And his benefit this week was two things. One, he seems like the stronger individual of the two. And two, John, what are you doing? Andy is so clearly at the bottom. He needs to go. It's the first vote out of the season. Why are you trying to work with him to pitch Annika out? All he did was make John look like a bigger target. John could have gone back to a Sam, could have gone back to Annika, Sierra, Rachel, be like, hey, Andy's pushing for Annika to go out. That's the only way where he says we can save him. I don't like that. I'm okay voting Andy out. I'm not with him. I'm with you guys. And John, you might have survived a week. Instead, you're just like, I don't know what to say, John. You basically gave the tribe every single reason to vote you out after Andy completely fell apart and had a full panic attack, anxiety attack, and splurged all the info in the world in front of the two other tribes. Oh boy. Not good. So, I don't know what's going to happen with Andy moving forward. He'll be seen again on my bottom three segment. But overall, when it comes to this tribe, I really like the dynamics between, I think, Sam and Sierra and Annika. They seem like kind of the core three of the tribe. Rachel is trying her best to be like, stop, Andy, stop getting near me. And I don't know. That's kind of my feelings. I think Sierra and Sam were the two shining stars. Annika might have got a little bit of heat, but I think she's surviving because some of these guys made themselves much easier, bigger targets early on. So she might be able to escape getting to the merge and having a good post-merge game. I still have high hopes for Annika, but I don't think she'll be in my top three like she was at the beginning of the top three for me to begin the season. Then we got Blue Tribe. And Blue Tribe is pretty much just the Gabe show. One thing I don't like about Survivor as much in recent years is, these early game idols, they're turning it into, its own side quest and side comp and side thing. And while it was entertaining as hell to see Gabe and even, we'll talk about Rome later, stumble around and be so obvious with their idol chase and, Gabe getting caught by TK getting the ring first, and TK's like, yeah, people don't get the ring first, and get the key first. They generally have the clue, and Gabe's like, yeah, man, that's weird. Gabe made a loud noise with his box in there. He clearly has a connection with Sue, and he's hoping to work with Sue, and is telling Sue about the advantage that he has found. There was the moment that the three guys kind of got together and Carolyn kind of pegged that out. Tiana didn't get too much content, but again, I'm expecting Tiana and Sue to eventually link up once their stories come around more, but it definitely seems like Sue was more a Caroline-Gabe ally this game. TK was able, to get their tribe all their supplies, meeting Asia and kind of the journey competition of the week, which was fun in its own nature. But I do worry that we're heading very quickly towards a TK and Gabe's showdown, and there's a chance that TK may be clipped now pre-merge, just because him and Gabe, I think Gabe has more ammo with him, and I don't know, man. Like, Gabe was so obviously looking for an idol, finding the idol, making noises, like, red flags galore are up on him, but if he does do a good job having Sue, if he can get Caroline as well, that's 3 people with the idol. That's all he kind of needs to make sure he makes it to merge, and maybe he'll have a play. If it were me, I would only ever went to the first idol. The second one, I just feel like it's too much work. You're going to get me in too much trouble. He did get the second idol that allows him to have Gabe has him to have the 3 tribal idol instead of the one that goes to the final 5. I think he made an okay decision there. That could keep him safe up until the first couple Mergatory boots. We'll see what he does with that. Again, he could use it against TK and make sure TK goes home. That could be interesting in the future weeks to come here, but Gabe still has his vote. But it was very much the Gabe show over on the Blue Tribe this week. And then the Red Tribe. Oh boy. I'm so happy there's something I pegged pre-game that ended up being true. I said I could see Asia, Teeny, Soul, and Keyshawn being a 4. In this episode, we very clearly saw those 4 kind of come together and say, we're going to have to deal with Rome. The issue is Rome is pretty much, now that they won the first immunity challenge, and we'll get into that talk here, he's going to get at least one idol. There's a chance now with 3 days he might be able to get a full-fledged idol to Final 5. He isn't going to be up against it as much as Gabe was comp-wise. Rome is very much on Asia's target list in terms of, like, hey, why did you go and choose to go on the journey and miss out on all the socializing? Roman and Genevieve are very close to each other, but they seem to be on the outs. My worry is that this group of 4 will mistakenly go after Rome when he has his idol, and one of those 4 will be idled out by Rome, and the tides of this tribe may switch up in different ways. As far as who I was impressed with this tribe, I mean, Teeny, I think, just has very great charisma, has very good vulnerability, is somebody that I think people would want to work with in the game because he doesn't seem very threatening. She seems very nice. Somebody you can carry around because you can probably beat her in comps later in the game. And then Soul, man, in that challenge. I mean, what an interesting, fun first immunity challenge. The boats of both Blue and Yellow Tribe flipping around. Red having so much of a lead, they didn't even get to see them make the puzzle. They're just like, good job, you guys won your immunity because they were that far ahead. And Soul being the Soul guy, carrying all those chests, putting them on the boat. Soul is a superstar in the making. And, I said I'm Team Asia cheering why she's my winner pick, but I'm going to be a Soul man the whole entire way. I love this energy in the small amounts that we saw. Just him in that, in the challenge was so just empowering and awesome. He seems like a level-headed, smart dude. I loved him being kind of like talking about how Keyshawn's an ER doctor. It's great that we, I just think Soul has a lot of great strength and charisma in him, both physically and just socially and mentally. I think Soul very much is going to be a big player. And if there's anybody to me that jumped out as a superstar and kind of hiding this episode, it is Soul. I think Soul just impressed me through the roof. I can't wait to see where he goes. I am on the Soul train, and we're not going to stop the rest of the season, I feel, because, I don't know, he just stuck out to me as somebody I really liked and I really want to root for. Now, let's talk about our top 3 and our bottom 3. We're going to start out with our bottom 3, the 3 people I think could be going next. And at the bottom of the whole entire pecking order has to be Andy. Andy had the freak out. Andy kind of only survived because he's the stronger person, and John gave everybody a reason to target him. I see Andy, if Yellow loses, being an easy vote out next time. He doesn't really give anybody any good reason why to work with him. And he just seems like, anxiety-wise, emotional intelligence-wise, he's not going to be long for this game. Maybe things will change around, maybe he'll get better, but we're already seeing Rachel kind of say he's kind of like a clinging boyfriend vibes with her, and I just see that tribe, if they're going to implode, Andy is going to be next. So he is by far the bottom of my totem pole. Next up on the bottom, though, I have to go Rome. Rome, man! You were so sloppily looking for an idol. I wanted so bad for them to catch him when he had his, body halfway through the well trying to get his first key, which I have to say, his first key, a lot harder and a little bit less fair than, say, Gabe's first key, just in my opinion. Having to pour water on a random drift log and then having to go into the bottom of the well, all Gabe had to do was find a key in a tree on a vine. I mean, they both kind of got caught, but what level? Not even Gabe's second key was that hard to find, in my opinion. But he doesn't realize how quickly Teeny and Keyshawn are going to turn on him, and even Soul. Asia has done, a good job gathering Teeny back up. We'll go into that connection here in a little bit in my top, my top three. But, Rome is just not playing a great game. He's giving already, if he does make jury, 0 vote finalist if he is able to make it to jury. I thought he was just sloppy beyond all belief. And I guess he's just lucky that the other two tribes flubbed so bad in that challenge that he now has 3 days most likely to find one idol, maybe get the second-tier idol or third-tier idol. I think best thing for him, though, is just to get the one idol, use it at the next tribal council, and hope you damage this power 4 that's in your group. Not very impressed with Rome overall. I think he's also on the bottom of the totem pole here on Island Analysis. And third, surprisingly third, TK. I know, Gabe was also kind of like Rome being sloppy, but the difference is Gabe was shoring up, and we were seeing him shoring up kind of social bonds and things with Sue and others throughout this episode. And him and TK, I feel, have a very incoming kind of head-on collision, and I just worry that, of the two, Gabe has the firepower to make sure TK goes home. And as much as I love TK in this episode, I loved him kind of fighting Asia for the last key in his own challenge and getting the tribe stuff. I enjoyed him kind of not attacking Gabe too much and wanting to work with Gabe. I just worry that Gabe is going to turn him into a target, and if Blue does lose, I can see Gabe, Sue, Caroline, and Tiana coming together and just be okay, I'm sorry, but TK is a threat in this game. He's very sociable. He's very likable. We have muscle with Kyle and Gabe. If he were to leave, even Sue and Tiana are strong compared to maybe some of the other females. We can lose TK, and I just worry that TK is in a bad spot. Now, if he survives and gets to merge, he could be a big player at the end of this game. I don't think TK's game is done by any stretch of the imagination. But if I'm looking at a bottom 3 this week, I think TK and the Blue Tribe is very vulnerable if they lose. My top 3. Top 3 of the game. We're going to go with the tippy top first. And like I said, I'm on the Soul train. But it's not Soul at the top. It's Teeny. I think the way Teeny came in and was able to connect with her tribe so well, was able to establish, I think, a good relationship with Asia off the top, to be able to take even, the idea of Roman and Genevieve wanting to work with her and kind of allowing herself to be directly in the middle of this tribe. She can go either way no matter what happens. If Rome uses an idol and, takes out an Asia or a Keyshawn, I think Teeny can kind of, relocate and work back with those crew. I think she has a very strong mind for the game. I think she knows the game pretty well. And I just think socially she's just in a very good spot. And once the merge comes, she's somebody I can see going very far and having a, a surprising winning type narrative of the person, oh, they don't have a chance. They can't get to the end. They won't win, to being like, oh, Teeny's in the final three. She's a very good speaker, and she's really smart about the game. I might just have to give her $1 million. I really like Teeny in the game right now. Number 2, who I have on my top 3, Sam. Sam allowing Annika to take the lead and realizing I just want to be kind of the beef boy follower. Great call. Sam realizing that, hey, John's kind of plotting and being a game plotter. Let's not vote out Andy this week. Andy's a loud, easy target for next time. Let's get out John this week, so if we lose again, I'm not some type of easy meat boy target. I have Andy right there I can throw out anytime at all, and I'll be safe. He seems very emotionally intelligent. He seems very good at sometimes some of the competition-based stuff. And I think he has a good ground, ground team on this yellow tribe here. I think he has a good connection with Sierra, and I can see Sierra going far in the game. And I think he has a decent connection with both Rachel and Annika. He isn't the de facto leader of this tribe, but he understands its dynamics very well, and I see him very easily being able to just go further in this game and just make a big run at things. I really liked Sam this episode. I think he had a very good first episode, and he is number 2 on my totem pole of power. Third, we're getting back on the Soul Train because I loved him physically in challenges. I loved his he didn't have to say much, but just his presence in the tribe to kind of find himself into a group of 4 so easily. He understands Rome's kind of an issue, but he isn't the one kind of pressing it and making it so obvious. He's a physical beast in challenges, so he's not going to be voted out of this tribe anytime soon. And I just think he's going to be a very likable, smart person throughout the rest of this game. He's somebody who I can see going far, maybe with a Teeny. Just very impressed with Soul overall. We're getting on the Soul Train, and we're ready to ride it all the way down to the final 3. But that's going to be kind of it for me on week 1 here of Island Analysis. We had sloppy gameplay from the Yellow Tribe with John. See ya, John. We had a really embarrassingly funny immunity challenge that saw 2 teams do so bad that the team that won barely got, shown in it. And we got a lot of drama when it comes to people looking for idols and kind of being caught in that. Interested to see where we go in future weeks here. How will Rome and Gabe rebound from their obvious idol hunting and successful or unsuccessful hunting? Will Andy and the Yellow Tribe be the new Implosion Tribe in this new era? Or will he be able to rebound and maybe make a, strong way through? We'll have to see. Tell me your thoughts on the Survivor premiere down below. Like and subscribe to the channel if you want more Island Analysis, movie reviews, TV show reviews, or even catch my live stream watch alongs of Survivor 47 here. And I'll see you next week, unless you want to check out my other videos. But as we go, we're going to pay tribute to our fallen comrade, John. It's been Island Analysis. I'm Josh, and I can't wait to see you next week.